Welcome, welcome, welcome. It is April 16th, 2024, because that's what we're doing the show on. But we're filming the show the day before. But we're here. This is the SOS show. I'm James Lott Jr., of course, of JLJ Media. I'm the super organizer. Been doing the show almost 9 years, kids.
No way.
Oh yeah,
That's awesome.
9 years, girl. It's been a lot. I was on radio and I came to this, took a show myself. But we are still here, and I get to bring great people on the show. This person just won NAPO's Founders Award. It's a person who was up for it once. I understand how important that is. We're going to talk about what that is. If you don't know what that is, we're going to tell you what that is and ask her how she feels because she's an award winner. She also has Wendy Buglio Consulting LLC in Boston, greater Boston area, because there's all places around Boston too, all over there. So we're going to talk to her, get to know her, see what's going on. I'm going to ask her the state of organizing. Help me welcome Wendy Buglio, CPO. Hi, Wendy.
Hi, thanks so much for having me. I'm so excited to be here and to talk with you. And 9 years is amazing. Do you have a plan for your 10-year anniversary?
I don't have it yet, but it kind of snuck up on me that I'm like, oh yeah, 10 years is coming.
Yeah, you got to do a big show for
I
10
know,
years.
I do. Because I've done big shows for 5. I did a big show, so I got to do one for 10. I know I got to do it. So I got to. It goes by so fast. Like
I know. That's why I'm saying, think about it now.
and
Think about it now.
see, she's an organizer, folks. She's an organizer. Um, So first, before we start talking, I do my thanks and gratitude, which I always do. Speaking of 10 years, it is my 10-year anniversary as a certified life coach. So I want to give thanks and gratitude to Lori Cameron, who was my coaching teacher for the first series I did, my first designation. Coach Training Alliance, which I did my first 2 designations with, especially over 11 years ago. And I did it because my Aunt Faith, thanks to her, who suggested I should do coaching in addition to my organizing. I've been an organizer 15 years. But midway, she was like, you're already kind of coaching on some level. Should go somewhere. And I did. And going to school in your 40s, not easy. But I have gratitude that I was able to get through it and I did it and I enjoyed it. And for the last 10 years of my clients, and I want to thank all of my clients that put their lives in my hands. That's what I'm trying to get to. Yes. Sincerely, it has been a joy. I have 5 designations that I've done since then because I got hooked. But folks, I have a coach. I coach people. Coaches are great, just like professional organizers. So please don't hesitate to check somebody out, vet them, see if they're good for you. Now, being a coach, learning how to be a coach, and having a coach have changed my life immensely, personally and professionally. So I want to give thanks and gratitude to all of that and being brought to that direction. So happy 10 years to me.
It's amazing.
Speaking of 10 years, I mean, everything's just like, how old am I turning next? I'm turning 55 next month. And I'm like, what's going on here? Like,
It's just a number.
just a number. But just like all that, but just being like, I've done all this stuff. I mean, like, you start
Yeah.
out, as you know, you start out and you don't have idea. You're just starting. You always put your, right in front of you, like what's going on. And then all of a sudden you wake up and you're like, 10 years for this and 10 years for that and 15 years for that. It's kind of crazy. How long have you been in the biz?
About the same, about 15 years, so 16 or 17 years. Yeah. I started on the tail end of the clean sweep
Oh,
sort
yeah.
of era. Do you know what I mean?
Yes. Yes.
Yeah, I had a career in marketing and advertising, and I had a crazy commute and long hours. And my husband is self-employed, and I was jealous. And he said, you should start your own business. I'm like, well, what would I do? And I love those shows. And I was like, oh, people get paid to do this? That's amazing. And I kind of fell into it. So here we are, many, many years later.
So you and I started, a bunch of us long timers. We don't say old timers, long timers, who started during the recession years. Because I'm saying you must have
Uh-huh.
also, like I did, and a few others, those years. Did anybody think you were crazy?
I mean, I thought I was crazy myself. I came from a family where, my parents worked. I had that work ethic. Somebody's got to have health insurance in this house and a retirement plan. So I felt really scared to take that leap and to do that. But I got to tell you, once it clicked and I started really getting traction, I realized that I was meant to be my own boss and to,
When
be an
when did
entrepreneur.
when did you know it clicked? When did it click for you?
I would say it took, it was fast for me, but maybe like 6 months or a year before I felt confident enough to leave my full time. Like I started out kind of like taking some days off, some sick days from my job, to see clients or whatever, or see them on the weekends. And you reach that tipping point where it's time to like take that leap of faith that you can do this. So it was maybe 6 months or a year in, and I took the leap. And then, I'm a big believer that whenever you make a brave decision like that, the universe provides and the work comes for you, right? So from there, it took off, and and I got really busy pretty quickly.
I mean, I ask you that because I know for a lot of people who watch my shows, I'm all about how to start. And
Yeah,
part of it really is faith in yourself. I mean, really,
yeah,
there's not, I mean, we can tell you all these things. We can line everything up. We can say, if you do this and this, but ultimately, in the end, you have to go, I'm going to do it or I'm not going to do it.
yeah.
Right.
And it was scary for me because I didn't have, it's not like I had a spouse that had a consistent income,
There's sugar
and
daddy. Never sugar daddy.
right, there's no sugar daddy in my house.
Yeah.
And so like I was the one that had the paycheck and the benefits package, and so that was a big leap of faith that we took. But I have no regrets.
Yeah, no, same here. When you look back on your career, because I've done it recently, because I hit 15 years this year, and I was like kind of looking back, kind of going, interesting. What do you see are some of the things why you have survived?
Yeah. um I Great question. I think at the beginning, I was very much like a lot of people who start, I tried doing lots of different things. I said yes to a lot of things,
Yeah.
and
Yes.
found my path over time. One of the big decisions I made was in 2015. I bought a colleague's organizing company. She had a team organizing business.
Oh,
And I wasn't really in the market for buying a company, but she knew that I was at a tipping point in my business of growth where I needed more help and support. And so she approached me and said, "Would you be interested in this team business? It's kind of turnkey, ready to go." And so I did. And that at the time, we were really focused on residential organizing. But as the moving related business has grown so much for me, I've now have the infrastructure and the resources to be able to take on larger projects, and so that's been a real big key. And I think just pivoting and like paying attention to the market conditions and what are the new um, demands that our customers need, our clients need, and making sure that we're staying on top of trends and that we're staying educated and meeting those requirements is a big part of it. So that, and I think we're just really good at what we do,
girl.
I don't mean to
Right.
brag, but
No,
like
but good. No,
we
yeah, but good.
we really go deep. We really our our company is really about creating lasting change for our clients and realistic practical solutions. We're making sure that whatever we're recommending our clients can actually maintain on their own. And so that just word of mouth gets out that what we're doing is real.
Yeah. No. If you don't toot your own horn, I'm gonna toot it for you. I'll toot my own horn. I do all the time. I know I'm good. But here's the thing. I mean, I love that. And but you have so this is the first time I've had this on my show. So when you took over, you became an instant boss to others.
Yes.
What was that for you? Were you always were you like a boss type, or did you have to grow into it?
Yeah, I'm a boss type, like in a good way. I
Yeah.
had in my previous career been responsible for people and had a team and had some leadership skills already that kind of come naturally to me. I think it's not for everyone. I hear a lot of people in the industry talking about wanting to grow and have a team, and my first question to them is always why, and also letting them know that now your job is not so much about doing the work hands on, although you can stay in the field. But now the bigger part of the job is developing and supporting your team.
Woo,
And
yes, I
that is
understand
not
that. Yes.
not for everyone.
not for everyone. Yes, I get these phone calls and things, and oh my god, all the time. So yes, and emails and stuff. Having people underneath you is very interesting. Well, I say underneath you, not in a bad way, just the people who are like
Yeah.
an answer to you or that work with you, whatever. It's a it can be a lot about that, even more so than the actual work. Because when you're by yourself, it's both of those things kind of, but it's you managing
Yeah.
yourself. When you go to work, you worry about the work itself. It's a lot more to think about.
Sometimes I feel the pressure now as a business owner if things are not busy. Do I have enough work to keep people
Right.
engaged? It comes with a different level of stress. How do I make payroll? It
Yes.
comes with some new stressors, but it's also super rewarding to see them thrive and flourish. And surrounding yourself with really smart people is the best thing you can do.
So you, like me, have seen the business change and grow. When you said what I said back in the mid 2000s when we started or whatever, you can make money out of this. And now we're in 2024, and I think people still don't know what we do. And still, they know a little more because now since then we've had hoarders, we've had tidying up, we've had a few, the home. We had a few of those. Now, I like to say me too because I'm in media. I've been in media for a long time, pressing this. I push this business to everybody because I love this business so much, the industry so much. But I just wonder, and I'm wondering what your thoughts on this are. I mean, do you think people know? I don't think everybody knows what we do exactly. I'm just wondering. I mean, some things have changed, but I feel like we have a way to go though to let people know this is not a luxury, not just a luxury elective thing. This is actually a very needed. I just want to know your general thoughts on stuff like that. I don't.
Yeah, there's a lot to unpack there. So I would say back in the 2000s when we started, I would say I'm a professional organizer. People would look at me like they thought I was organizing unions or something. They didn't know what that
Yes,
meant,
yes,
right?
yes.
Now I say it and they go, oh, cool. They know at least what the job is. They at least have some awareness of what the job is. So that's great. But in terms of like what it feels like or what we actually do, you're right. I don't think they know what to expect when we come in.
Yeah.
They see the Instagram, makeovers and the decanting videos and whatever, and they think that that's what it's about. And then we get in there and we ask them some really tough questions about what they're holding on to and why. Or maybe we tell them that putting the pasta in the beautiful jar looks nice, but is that something they're actually going to maintain on their own? We have those real conversations with them, and it's, I think, very eye-opening for people when they start to experience it.
Yes.
And then the luxury thing, I've like such a hot button for me because I think you're so right, and I actually think the younger generation doesn't see it so much as a luxury.
Okay.
It seems to me that the millennials and Gen Z
Okay.
seem willing and open to investing in um uh development for
Okay.
themselves. So I don't want to call it self-help, but they're
All
they're
right.
they're they're up for quality coaching, and they don't seem to perceive it that way, the way that like our generation
And
might have
above. And above.
and above. Yeah.
So because like, well, yeah, I could try to. Well, we're like a plumber, we're like a house person, we're like an electrician, we're like a gardener, we're here to assist you, and it's just like anything else. It's not this, and I feel like the stigma is always like, well, I should be doing it myself. I can't do it. Like it's always I don't think it's like sometimes you can't do it yourself. I mean, really, like seriously, sometimes it is
Yeah.
your own health issues or just like it's gone so big that I think that's why people are just kind of like, what? Like, I can hire, like, really? It's not just some like bougie kind of like, no. So like, there's all kind of organizers and organizers. We're here to help you out. We can help you.
Yeah.
There's so many things. Like, I want
Yeah.
people to know that it's okay. You're right. I deal with a lot of older, so maybe that's why. So that they're always like, I don't know, like this is a thing. I'm like, yes, it's a thing. And then when they hire me, they're really happy afterwards. Like, oh my god,
Oh, when they see the value, right? They get it.
yeah,
Yeah.
yeah. It's like
You
I'm
need we need people to say that. We need those testimonials.
That's really. I was thinking, what else do you think we need to do to get the word out there? I don't know. I'm trying to think what else we need to get the word out there. I don't know if you have any ideas.
Yeah, I mean, I'm excited the industry is booming.
Oh yeah.
There's
Oh
lots
yeah.
of young people coming into the industry. Um, I think that we need to like reach them and talk to them about what groups like NAPO can offer. what becoming certified can mean, and how the work is different than maybe what is perceived, and shown through the media. Um,
Yes.
so I think attracting the younger generation of organizers, like I love talking to people who are thinking about getting in the industry and telling them and sharing that and mentoring them. That is super rewarding. So I think that um, can help bring about overall professionalism for the industry in general. So I'm excited about all that potential.
Yeah, I think what we didn't understand is that a lot, because most of us come from other stuff. We didn't, obviously we did, there was no professional oriented when we were growing up. We didn't grow up,
Right.
now you could grow up to be a professional oriented. We didn't have that when we were growing up. So, but for anybody out there, you can go to college or something, you might actually be able to take what you learned and apply it to something in organizing. Our field is so vast, it's so diverse in what we do. You know, it's not just papers, it's not just hoarding. Like it's all those. I keep trying to tell us on the show, like it's much bigger and smaller than that. It's everything else than that,
Yeah.
not just that.
Yeah. I agree.
Yeah. So I want people to get it. So I'm gonna scream to the rooftops. I'm gonna do this show until I can't do it anymore. They have to wheel me in when I'm 95 years old. I'm like, it's the super organizer. Still gonna talk about organizing. I love it.
I look forward to it.
But you speak. Well, it's kind of crazy. Maybe I look the same. Speaking of NAPO, anybody listen to the show, watch the show, oh no, I've been on NAPO everything. So when did you join? How did you find out about NAPO and when did you join?
Yeah. So I found NAPO when I was like kicking the tires. That's like the first thing I found. I watched Clean Sweep
Yeah.
and then I found my local chapter and they were having like a new organizer workshop or whatever. And I went and there were a lot of people in the room. There were like 30 people thinking
Wow.
about becoming an organizer. And I was like, is there a market for that? Like, is there enough business for, and I remember the veterans that were teaching it were like, yeah, there's
And you
a
know now there's plenty of business.
there's a huge need, right?
Oh my God, yeah.
So I found NAPO right away and I joined and when I first got started, most of my connection was at the chapter level because that's where I, was in person connecting with local people that were either getting started or more established. And that's how I found NAPO. So that was in 2007.
Okay, yes. I found them in 2009 or so.
Okay.
Okay, so but my first thing, if everybody knows already, I found a book by Julie Morgenstern, Organized from the Inside Out, and that was my Bible for a while. That's what got me started.
Yeah, that's a good one.
That's a good one. That's why I got me started. There's a lot of good books out there actually. But she was one I got started. Okay, so you just won the Founders Award.
I did.
And so can you tell people what that is? And yeah, first of all, what that is. Tell me what that is.
Sure. Yeah. I mean, so there are a few awards that NAPO gives out every year. There's Service to NAPO. There's a President's Award, which is given to somebody at the president's discretion to recognize contributions. And then there's the Founders Award. The Founders Award is in honor of the founders of NAPO, which it was actually really special this year because we were in LA for Summit, which is where NAPO was founded 40 years ago.
Yes.
And there was like a small group of organizers who got together in someone's living room and decided to create an association. And so in the spirit of the Founders Award is awarded to someone who has demonstrated innovation, creativity, and contributions to the industry. And it's I think really special because it's peer nominated and then voted on by the membership. So it was, yeah, I mean, I was like,
Well, so when you
really
found out, because
really honored.
I went through it myself. How when you found out you were nominated,
Yeah.
someone that's our peer, so that's a peer. Usually it's two peers, like one and then a
Yeah. Yeah.
What'd you think? What were you thinking?
Well, so the person that nominated me is actually one might consider her a competitor of mine. She's in my geographical area, but we're really good friends. We started our businesses around the same time and we've been a support to each other. And this is one of the things I love about NAPO is that it's a very collegial, is that the right word? It's a community and it's supportive. And so like there have been moments in my business where I've hit a wall, not knowing what to do, and vice versa for her. And I remember during the pandemic getting on Zoom calls with her once a week to be like, okay, what are we doing this week to kind of try to stay alive, right? And so the fact that she wanted to nominate me for this award was really flattering and sweet. And I was, she they're supposed to sort of like ask your permission to nominate you, but she was just like, I'm nominating you. I'm telling you, because she probably knew I was going to say no. Because I tend to amplify others. My style is very much to like, someone will give me a compliment. I'm like, oh, well, thank you. And it was a team effort. I couldn't have done it without this person. Like, I'm very much like deflect the praise onto others around me. So she probably knows I would have told her no, thank you. But anyway, here we are.
And you won. And you won.
And then I won. Yeah.
So, I mean, it's funny because I was supposed to be there, so I got sick and I couldn't be there. So I'm very sad
Yeah.
I was not there. I live right, like I'm here in I'm in Inglewood. I'm like not far from there. And another story. So I'm sad I couldn't see you get the honest. I was very sad I couldn't be there in person and
I
see
know. You were missed.
I thank you. I really want to go. I want to give a shout out to Mindy Godding for inviting me. And my first conference was Los Angeles back in 2015. That was my first conference.
Amazing.
So it's
Yeah.
a whole full circle thing for me. And but anyway, when I saw, I was like, this is so wonderful because you and I were in this business. We're like little satellites out there doing our jobs. We're just doing our business. And then your peers go, we think you should actually have an award to say thank you. So how was that for you? Once you nominated, besides being nominated,
Yeah.
win, it's a different story.
Yeah. And I was nominated alongside whatever, against is a bad word, alongside another really great colleague and friend of mine, Sarah Buckwalter, and then Jennifer Hurd, also from Chicago. I think she's from Chicago.
Yeah.
Just really to be in the company of, those two very deserving individuals was amazing. And so, yeah. And so then there's the big reveal at Summit, right? They lead up to it. It's a big thing.
Yes.
And I was all like, I had to speak because I'm also on the board of directors. And so I had a speaking that I had to do during the business meeting. And I'm not usually like I don't have stage fright. I can get on stage and talk all day long. But I was like, I knew that award was coming. I wasn't sure what, the results. And I'm like, they had to get up on stage and talk about our certification program. So that whole day was just kind of a blur. But there we are.
What did you have a little speech prepared just in case for that thing?
No, I didn't actually say anything because they didn't really. I think in years past they've had the nominees prepare a thank you speech, but they've kind of streamlined it and downplayed that. So on stage, when I was given the award, they were like, "Do you want to say something?" And I was like, "Oh, I didn't prepare anything, so no thanks." So I didn't really make a speech.
Yes. I've heard, and so I heard, and I have to tell you, I mean, everybody was contacting me afterwards, that this summit was probably one of the best they've ever had.
Yeah.
Seriously, I heard that over and over again.
Yeah.
What are your thoughts about the summit overall?
Yeah. Well, so I will tell you that on the board of directors, we're doing a lot of deep work on what the value of NAPO is to our members and our non-members, and really trying to grow our membership and attract the next generation and a more diverse representation. So we're having some hard conversations in the boardroom.
Good.
And we really wanted to set a new tone at Summit and send a new message. And Mindy Godding has been an amazing leader in that regard. So it was exciting to put some things in motion and have it so well received, and to have that messaging, be taken the right way. And I mean, did you hear what Mindy did on stage?
She sent me an email about her sequin outfits.
Yeah. So, she was delivering the State of NAPO address, which was dire, right? We're struggling. We're having, despite the industry booming, NAPO is it feels like we're aging.
Yeah.
And so we're struggling on a lot of fronts. We're struggling at revenue. We're struggling at membership. There's a lot of negativity. Just not a good vibe, right? And she's like, something needs to change, right? So then the lights went down. She's like, it's changing right now. And she was wearing, she had on a black whatever dress, and she changed on stage, and we had a little dance party. And it was like kind of the signifying of the new shift for NAPO. And it was really awesome. It was great energy in the room. But even before that moment, which was Friday, like I feel like even on arrival, like it was great. Like that felt really fresh
Yeah.
and energized and connected. And it just felt really good.
Yeah, when she told me that, I was like, girl, I wish I was there for that. Oh my God.
Oh,
Cheering. I would have been cheering. Oh my
you,
God. Oh
I
my
feel
God.
like you would have been out of your mind.
Yeah, I would have. I love that. I love that. I mean, and here's the and so I have over the years I've had all the presidents on for the last like
Yeah.
change my show. I was a member. I was an April member for about 8-9 years, and I'm not right now currently. But Mindy's
Yeah.
trying to change me for that, so we're talking. I'm seeing the changes. I'm seeing the board, how it looks.
Yeah. Yeah.
I'm seeing the when you said that. I'm seeing the optics look pretty good to me.
We're trying.
Yeah, it looks pretty
I'm
good.
super excited about our incoming board.
Yes.
Karen Baker is going to be an amazing president,
Yes.
and it's just a really good makeup of people.
I saw.
So,
I know some of them, so I'm like, I can.
yeah.
I'm excited, and one of the things that I've been critical of NAPO, and I've also been supportive. I've done both, and I just think that we're now. I love this industry. I love it. I said it before. I say it. I love this industry, and I just think that NAPO has an opportunity to really put a spotlight on what we do.
Yeah.
I try to do whatever I can to help, obviously, on some level. But I think it's that we people need to know this is wonderful.
Yeah.
This is amazing. This is amazing. And that everyone is welcome, and that everyone can do this, but also for a lot of us veterans who are,
Yeah.
like I said, long timers, our needs are different. So I'm looking forward to seeing what happens for us who've been around for a while.
I mean, I will tell you that as a veteran, I want to see the new generation of NAPO professionals because I have so much to learn. Still, I'm still learning and
Oh yeah, all
adapting
the
and
time.
growing.
Oh yeah.
And, you know, I want to give and get. And so I'm excited for
Yeah.
things to come.
I mean, me too. I am too. But I just heard it. And see, we're all organizers, so of course we're going to critique a summit on
Sure.
organizing. So I was like, it's always
Absolutely.
say anybody puts these together. Anybody puts these together every year. I bow to you because I'm like, I know that it's like you have a bunch of people of professionals, of productivity professionals are like, how these conversations, they're always fun. And one of the things I always say. I always get a natural high. I've been to several conferences over the years, but I get a natural high being with people who like what I like.
Yeah. It's very energizing to be in the room, seeing everybody's different success stories and fresh ideas. You just leave inspired and with a long to-do list of things you
Yes.
want to try to implement on your own.
And some great speakers, and I've
Yeah.
done some speaking engagements for NAPO, different places over time, and everybody's just so eager and they're ready and they want to learn, they want to know what's going on. We want to
Yeah.
devour everything. I love that. I love that feeling.
Yeah.
And NAPO's, I always tell people you should always go to places that are, first of all, the top of the industry. But also it's good because we work on our own.
Yeah.
And we don't have that water cooler office, conference room things. Like we actually need people to kind of, like you said, to call. I don't have competitors. I don't. In LA, if I can't do it, I pass it on. I have people I pass it on to. It's
100%. And that is really something special about this industry.
I agree. I totally agree. It's like we all, like I said, we're all, trying to make it happen. But I always recognize there's some folks who are better at certain things than I am. And
Right.
that live in LA was huge. So I'm like, I don't go that direction. So I'll send them, they don't go my direction. And I think also we don't go down
Right.
I get it.
I can't draw like a circle zip code radius for me because like to get from here to like 3 miles, into the
Yes.
city is ridiculous, but I could go 10 miles the other way in half the time.
Oh yeah, exactly. Right. That's yeah, exactly. Oh, and I know that one too. Oh my God, I know that one too. But congratulations on winning the award. I think
Thank you.
To go through this. Like I said, we came to this industry not even thinking about stuff like that. They're nice. They're nice. It's nice. It's nice to get recognized.
Yeah, it felt great, and I tried to like let myself have the moment and not quickly.
Yeah. That's why I'm giving it to you. I'm gonna give it.
Thank you. This is my moment.
Your moment. Your moment. I love it. As we go, thanks for being on the show, of course. And as we go, what is something you'd like to say to people out there who are like or executive organizer? Like, what would you like to say to them?
To people that are thinking about getting
They're
started?
on the fence, so they're not sure. You know, they've heard of organizing, they're not sure. I mean, it's like just anything you'd like to say to them to tip them over to the point of checking it out at least.
Yeah, I think about your why. I think being a really good professional organizer is not about knowing how to organize things. It's about wanting to change lives and being able to work with a client and get them to their goal. And like you use this so much in your coaching work, right? Like getting somebody motivated to make a change that's going to have a positive impact on their life. So I like to say to people when I'm hiring, listen, I can train anybody to organize, hang stuff in the closet, whatever. I can't always train people to have that emotional intelligence and that interpersonal connection that is so vital to being a successful professional in this career. So I always talk to people about that and the realities of the work because it's not what it's always portrayed to be in the media, as you well know.
Yes, it isn't. And you said something earlier, which I've dealt with it also before. I'm a big cheerleader. I like, you know, when they get James Lott Jr., I'm my biggest cheerleader. But when my coaching teacher just told me this, she said, "Oh, she goes, in your coaching, you're off the hook. In your organizing, you're off the hook." And I was like, she kept saying it throughout the show, the whole class. I was in class for like 10 months. So she kept saying that you're off the hook. And now I get what she said, what she means by that. It's not about us. That's why
Yeah,
we're out there. It's not about us. It's
right.
about
You
them.
can't want it more than your client does.
So that's where we end it. Wendy Buglio, thanks for being on the show.
I loved it. Thank you so much for having me. And I hope to see you. Will you go to Chicago? Will you come to
I
Summit
went to
in
Chicago.
Chicago?
Chicago's one of my favorite cities in the whole world.
Please come to Chicago
But I'm
so that
fine.
we can have some fun.
Yes. I know we'll have a good time. I know we have a good time. I can tell already. We have a good time. Now tell me where they can find, because this is about business. She is for hire, folks. We are for hire. Where can they find you? Where can they find
Thank
you?
you. It's my name. So it's Wendy Buglio, Buglio.com.
And I'll put that, of course, in the description below or aside or however I do it. You'll see the description. You can go because she and her team are for hire, folks. This is a business, folks. She is for hire.
Award-winning professional organizer, Wendy Buglio.
That's
Huh?
right. Yes. Hello. Yes. She got letters after her name. I know a few things about that. Not a lot. Folks, and I'm James Lott Jr. LottofHelp.com. It's Lott with two T's. Super Organizer LLC. I'm for hire too. Sure, you're gonna hire me also. But we're out there. We're all out there. And if you want to get in touch with her, and you're just I can get you there too. If you need me to get you there, I'll make introductions. I have no problem with that whatsoever. But everyone, please, it's spring. Spring has sprung. I suggest everyone look for an organizer. I'm sure there's plenty in your area or near your area. It's a great profession, and they are here to help. So check that out. Talk to you next time.